Hello everyone and welcome to another Rumi story. I almost didn't want to tell this one because I thought everyone has already heard it. It's in the Western fables, it has Indian origins, and I know I have a lot of Indian friends here. But when I actually sat down and read this version of the story in the book, my whole perspective changed and I thought it's definitely worth a new look. So this is Masnavi Manavi, written by Mowlana Jalal-ol-Din Mohammad-Balkhi, also known as Rumi, a Persian mystic poet from the 13th century. And this story is about a rabbit who tries to defeat a lion. And to us, it seems like, yeah, it's the weak but clever peasant trying to fight the king, the powerful king. But when I read it this time, I realized that through Mowlana's spiritual lens, the hero is actually the lion. The main character is the lion. So I want you to listen to the story thinking of the lion, seeing him as a metaphor for our higher self, and see if you can understand what the rabbit is. And then I'll explain to you how it works at the end. So once upon a time, there was a lush, beautiful meadow full of animals living freely. But their peace was shattered by a powerful lion who hunted them every day. It had become a nightmare. The animals gathered and decided to go to the lion with a proposal. "O King, your majesty, this chasing and running, it tires you and terrifies us. So what if, from now on, you don't hunt us? Instead, every day we'll send you one of us randomly to be your meal. That way you rest and we can live in peace." The lion said, but how can I just sit and do nothing and wait for results? That's not what I was made for." The animals said, well, at the end, God provides for everyone, even those who can't work hard. Honestly, that striving for food is kind of a disrespect to God's power. Don't you trust that He will feed you? Then the lion said, God gave us arms and legs and a mind. He put a ladder in front of us so we can climb it. To just sit and say that God will do everything is lazy, not faithful. پای داری چون کنی خود را تو لنگ دست داری چون کنی پنهان تو چنگ. You have feet, why pretend to be lame? You have hands, why hide them in shame? So they argued for a few pages, and then the lion finally decided that, you know what, it's easier, so I'm just gonna do what you say. So after that, every morning the animals would send one of themselves to run to the lion. This went on for a while, until one day the lottery fell on a rabbit. The rabbit said, I'm not going. How long must we suffer this tyrant? The other animals panicked. Everyone else sacrificed themselves for you, but now you don't want to do the same for others? But the rabbit said, I'm not just thinking about myself. Let me trick him, and I'll free all of us. They all laughed at him. You, a little rabbit? How can you possibly defeat the king of the jungle? قوم گفتندش که ای خر گوش دار خویش را اندازه خرگوش دار. They said, oh donkey, know your place. Keep your dreams in your own rabbit space. But the rabbit was already gone. Wait, at least tell us what your plan is. Nope. در بیان این سه کم جنبان لبت از ذهاب و از ذهب و از مذهبت. Always leave all about these three untold. Where you go, your God and your gleaming gold. And so the rabbit went to the lion, but very, very slowly. When he finally arrived there, the lion was furious. How dare you, little rabbit, keep me waiting? The rabbit fell to the ground, pretending to tremble. Oh, King, forgive me. I don't want to make you mad. I even brought my friend with me to become your food. Another rabbit. 3 times bigger than me, fatter, with soft meat. You would have loved him. But on our way, another lion attacked us. He took my friend and said, go tell that lion that I am the real king here. If he wants his food, he must come here to take it from me. But, of course, I don't think you want to see him. The lion's pride was struck. Show me where. So off they went to meet the other lion. They walked and walked until they reached a well. The rabbit said, he's in there. Go look, but I can't come. Why not? Asked the lion. گفت کو پایم که دست و پای رفت، جان من لرزید و دل از جای رفت. My legs and arms, where have they gone? My soul shaking, my heart withdrawn. Oh, such a shame you have to show up empty-handed when he has my friend. It's an easy fix. So the lion held the rabbit, and together they looked into the well. Inside the well, the lion saw another lion holding a rabbit. The lion, enraged, roared. The other lion roared back, somehow louder. Anger took over the lion, and he decided to teach the food stealer a good lesson. He jumped into the well to attack him, and before he realized he attacked his own reflection, he drowned. The rabbit did it. Now, before we run to the meadow with our happy rabbit, remember the last story about the Jewish king who wanted to kill all Christians? Mowlana called that king double-sided because he couldn't see that Moses and Jesus are both the same thing, delivering the words of truth in different packaging. Now, Mowlana believes that not just the prophets, but all of us, everything that exists, we're all branches of the same tree. So if we're all the same thing, then why do we get so mad at each other? Because we see our own reflection in them and we can't stand it. Because it looks bad, right? That's why every time you want to take someone down, حمله بر خود می کنی ای ساده مرد، همچو آن شیری که بر خود حمله کرد. Just like the lion, oh simple man, you attack yourself. That is your plan. And when you attack the darkness in others, you're only making the whole thing messier and darker. Now, let's hear from the rabbit, who was running back to his friends, dancing and clapping his hands, shouting, مژده مژده ای گروه عیش ساز، کان سگ دوزخ به دوزخ رفت باز. Good news, my friends, he fell. That hellish dog returned to his hell. The animals couldn't believe it. Are you an angel? A fairy? How did you do it? Now here, the rabbit suddenly forgets that he's a part of the metaphor and says that it was all God's doing, I didn't do anything, and there's a bigger lion inside all of us. And that one is even harder to defeat. These are just words of Mowlana in the rabbit's mouth. But in this story, what the rabbit is talking about, that force inside you that's so hard to defeat, in this story, that is the rabbit. Like, of course, there are different themes in the story. There's the fact that tyranny and cruelty always ends badly. There's a concept that everyone, no matter how unimportant they look, they have their own unique capacities and capabilities that no one else has. But on the scale of the whole story, the rabbit is our inner beast that can, with its own little tricks, lead us to disaster. Our higher self is the lion that wants to grow and to be on the right direction. But with all its might, it can be fooled by the rabbit or the ego. Now, when I say ego, it means the part of us that's always thinking about the differences, about separation, the part that is not aware of the unity of all creatures. It doesn't understand that everything you do, you're doing it to yourself. Now, if we're all one, and if you're always attacking yourself, you're more hurt and you get angrier and then you attack more and the cycle continues. That's the game of the ego. دوزخ است این نفس، دوزخ اژدهاست که به دریاها نگردد کم و کاست. This ego is a hell, a beast of dread, unmoved though oceans inside it are shed. عالمی را لقمه کرد و در کشید، باز هم نعره زنان حل من مزید. It swallowed a world, yet still with a roar, keeps shouting out, is there any more? And you can never logically shut it down. Like, yeah, you see, you shouldn't do that. That's not right. No, it always finds a way to trap you with its own fake logic. Your ego rabbit is grazing out there. You're trapped in whys and hows down in this lair. When you get lost in philosophical arguments and try to solve everything with your brain, you think you know a lot. And that itself makes your ego fatter and you fall deeper. Instead, we should always remember we are creatures of incredible power. If we're connected to our source, we will never fall prey to the petty games of ego, even when being petty feels freaking awesome. And that was it. I'm Sara, a daughter of Iran, and I'll see you in the next story. Thanks for watching.